Hi everyone, welcome to Unedited Coding episode 3. In this session we're gonna do the actual fix for the slider widget. Last time we forked the Flutter repository into our own setup. We created a branch, and this time we are going to do the actual fix. See that we find a solution to the obvious problem. Okay, meanwhile, let me just start the emulator again. And I want to just show really quick what we're dealing with, right? So yeah, I have the emulator over here. Everything seems to be set up. Okay. Yeah. So we have our setup here. We have the emulator, which is running. Yep. It kind of runs. And we have the slider fix project, which is the project where we actually gonna check that our fix works or not. So how do we test it? I mean, how do we decide that we fixed the problem? So we have the slider widget, right? And the slider widget has the label, and just setting the label, which is the value that shows above the ticker, has no effect unless you set the show value indicator correctly. So if you have a continuous slider, like we have here, setting the label has no effect, which is, in my opinion, quite a bug. So I just want to show you last time we did like a really quick demo check, right, where we changed the actual value of the default value, the show value indicator, to always show. This is why this now works, right? So we could say this is a good fix, which it is not, but that's how we would test it. So again, one of the things that we would test for. If we go over here, we can see in the log that we did a commit, right? So we changed the value of the show value indicator from being whatever was given in the theme or the default value to just being always, which is not a good solution, but it works, you know. That's just to show that once we change something over here, we can just switch to our second project, and testing over here will just result in it working, right? I mean, just so that we can see that changing the Flutter framework is first not that hard, and also reflects directly on our project as long as we actually work with that SDK. And we can see that we worked with it. If we go to settings, and check that the SDK is the one that we forked, right? So this is the one. Cool. So let's get back to over here. I will revert this and just check, maybe someone pushed some changes. Let's do update project, right? Maybe that's a good thing. Can't update no track branch completed. Oh, right. Sure. Big deal. Let's switch to origin. Master, I guess. Check out. And update. Yeah. I think we're still pulling from our own repository instead of from upstream, but I cannot seem to remember how to do that exactly right now. Yeah, we'll do it in another episode, but it doesn't matter. So we'll just revert our code to what it was before. We'll do recent current branch, hard, and we'll just reset back. Oh wait, no, I should have. My bad. Check out. Yep. So let's bookmark with F11. And again, let's reset. Okay. So we're starting from scratch. Basically, what we want to do is if label was set on slider, no matter what the theme says, well, I don't know, is it no matter what the theme says? Because the theme can say show never, and then it's weird to have a show never and a label that actually shows. It is a weird thing. I think maybe the show value indicator is actually redundant in this configuration. So I think either one of them should remain, right? So either we remove the label, and the label is derived from the show value indicators setting. So for example, if it's always, then we always show the toString of the value, or if it's like only for continuous and only for discrete, so in those cases we show the value of the label, just the toString of it, which I can see why it would be not ideal, because sometimes we want to alter the value a little bit, in which case I think maybe the better option would be just not have the show value indicator at all. Like not even have it as an option. In which case, if you want a label to be shown, you just specify what you want the label to be. If you don't want it to be shown, you never specify it. I think that's better. Let's go with that. So how do we actually do that, right? So we have to find the show value indicator. So there's a lot of places where we will have to remove it from, right? Yeah. I think we can start from completely removing the show value indicator enum, right? So because we decided it's useless, and we'll just fix all the places that use it, right? Yeah, let's try to do that. And again, if you have some input, for example, you would have done it in some other way, I think that would be great to hear. But that's how I guess I would do that. Yep, right, so now we'll have like a bunch of errors, which is probably fine. And we can just go one by one, I guess. So the default show value indicator, don't care about it, doesn't exist anymore. And again over here, it doesn't exist, so it's not. And this doesn't exist. Wait, doesn't matter. So this is the boolean, right? So this is the boolean inside of, let's see if I can see where we are. What I liked about working with Android native, like Kotlin, for example, you have breadcrumbs that say which class you're in, right? You know, like, is this getter is part of the slider or the slider state or what? Now I have to scroll all the way up. Oh, it's the render range slider, right? Right, render range slider. I guess I can see that there is a getter over here, and it's called the show value indicator. Value indicator. I think it's range slider. Isn't there? Render range slider, render range slider. Yep. Skipped. Show value indicator. How is it used? Because we do still want. So we show the value indicator if the label exists, right? But just the fact that it doesn't have the label over here is a bit weird. Let's see if I can find it. Let's do it alphabetically. Actually, no, I think it's alphabetically inside of it. So it's... Is it? It's not. So, where are you? Am I in the render? Yep. I'm here. Let's see the usages of this one. And do you have a label over here? Labels. What are labels? Range labels. Don't think it's the same one. Just trying to see I can see the constructor. What are those labels? Those are the labels which label appear in the value indicator for each sum. Oh yeah, because this is right. No, this makes sense. Start and end. Okay. So I think as long as the labels are they required? They're not required. But if you do set them, I think they have to be not now. Do we check for it ever? Yeah, okay. Go back to the error. So I would say that this can be a value indicator just by deciding if labels if labels is not null, right? And if labels start is not empty. Well, I guess you can say it's not null. But if it's, yeah, I think it's just not empty, because once you create it, it has to be like you have to, but you can pass null. No, you have to check for null. So I was thinking, do you have to check for null over here, because the constructor it's not an optional constructor for start and end. You have to pass a value, but you can pass null as well, so there's no way to know if start is going to be null as well. So you have to check that it's not null, and then also check that start empty, and we'll do the same for labels and not null, and labels and not. Right. I think, wasn't there like a string is not null kind of a thing? No, nothing. So I think in some other languages there's like a convenience method to check if it's not null or empty. Don't know if Dart has one. Oh, we can check, right? So Dart string it doesn't seem like there is anything like that. Yeah, that's just on the string. Yeah, so there's nothing like that, but it's fine. Let's just format it. Oh, I think I formatted everything. Yeah, so let's not do that. Yeah, okay. And we can remove everything over here. And just say that. Okay, so if labels is not null, and start is not null, and it's not empty, well, maybe they want it to be empty. That would be weird. Yeah, that would be weird. And the same is for and not null, and is not empty. Then I just can return that actually. Is it weird if I return from here? Like return from this? Yeah, well, obviously. I think it might be a little bit weird, right? Yeah. Okay, I guess let's fix this part. I think this makes sense, right? So show value indicator is true if there are labels, because labels are actually, if we go and look at what labels means, right? Labels is define, where is it defined? It's not specified here, but labels are these are labels, values that appear in the indicator. So show value indicator, right? Used in combination with range slider, show value indicator. Wait, what? I think that might be a problem. Bookmark it, because we might need to change. Used in combination, how? Why would we? Yeah, let's go to range slider, which we never actually checked, but I guess I'm gonna have to do that as well. Range slider. Search for value indicator, I guess. The shape. We need to see where is the range slider. The range slider has labels. We know that. Well, it doesn't have show value indicator. Why did it say that it has range slider show value indicator? It was just messing with me. I think it was. It looks like it's incorrect documentation, right? Because there's no. This doesn't exist. I mean, tried looking for it, but I don't think it does exist. So, not used in combination with anything anymore, just not used. Okay, object for setting range slider labels, whatever appear in the right. Let's get it on. Default doesn't matter. So basically we're making the show value indicator a calculated property. It depends on the label and not anything else, right? So that one as well. And we meet you again. So this time we're in, I'm guessing, the slider, render slider. Not so sure. I think render slider is just for the single slider, the normal one. And I'm assuming it's gonna be labels as well, right? So there's label, right? Label, not null, and label not empty. Let's say everything else is besides the point. Yep. So value indicator. Yeah, this one we don't need anymore. Is this like a default? Yeah, this is the default theme. Yeah, we don't use you anymore. Thank you for your service. Didn't I delete it? Oh, I deleted the, right, not the property. Removing you. And removing you as well. And I guess, yep. Oh, wow. What is this? Some kind of a... Oh, right. And then a lerp, right? So show value indicator, which is seems to no longer exist because of what? Oh yeah, because we like we removed it completely. So was it not a boolean over here? This one, right? No indicator. No, I don't think it was. Oh, it's the theme. Yeah, so it's not the boolean, so it's fine. I don't think we need to worry about this one. This is the hash code, so no error. This is also. Oh, that's the equals, right? That's the thing, right? Yeah, equals. And the debug properties that we don't need. And I was certain that it's not now, doesn't matter anymore. Okay, he's on top of the circle if this thumb would overlap the other thumb. So I guess this means the other thumb. How many thumbs are there? What thumb? It's weird. What was there? I think there was like a method for a boolean method, right? So it was something along the lines. Why is it slider theme? Am I in the theme? No, I'm in paint of the shape. That's weird. For the shape. It's a bit annoying. So what do we have to work with here? The label painter. Is the label painter actually the label? Then we need to see it used. I think this is actually the label of the value indicator. How can I be sure? What I want to do here, because I think you can, instead of check the show value indicator, show value indicator would still be here, but it would be like label. What was it called? Something like that. I think now. Oh yeah, we don't have a label over here for some reason. Yeah. Let's see where it's used. Maybe it's not even used. If not, show. Activation animation is 0. Not show. Like. where you can't really... How can you paint without having the value, you know? Like direction, there's the thumb. The thumb. What are you painting over here? Round, range, slider, thumb shape. Creates a slider and then draws a circle. Yeah, I think there's like different shapes, but I do see why they added this. So add a stroke around the circle if this thumb would overlap the other thumb. Yeah, I get it. So we kind of need to know if there's gonna be... Yeah. Yeah, we have to actually pass the value over here, so we have to know where is it? Weird. I think it's required. Will be required. Pull, show, slider. Show slider indicator, show value indicator, sorry. Value indicator, right? This. Come on, where are you? Oh, there it. Oh, where it jumps. And we'd use it here so that this would not matter. Okay, like this. Yeah, we'd still have to pass it, but I don't see another option. Let's see where it's used. Over here. Should see a warning that says that the required value is not passed, but you know, maybe we have bigger problems than that's why it doesn't show. Usually it would be underlined. Yeah, so we are inside of another paint, are we? Yeah, we are. Another paint of... Oh my god, this is so uncomfortable to find. Of what? Which one? Which class are we even in? Ugh. Maybe this one. This outline sometimes helps. Render range slider. This one actually helps better than the structure somehow, right? So because I know, right? It was here. Yep. Paint. I think let's try it again. Yeah, this paint. Which is inside of render range slider, right? Okay. And we need to... Oh, it's... is it... Our theme is on top. Is this screen? Fashion animation. I think I'm missing something. It doesn't feel like it's the same paint. Because it is not. This one? No? It's weird. Oh yeah, we changed, now I get it. So they all are overrides and I just added like a value to here, which is not cool. I should have... I need to... I need to add the value to the actual class that owns it. What do you call it? The super. It'll get back to me. Okay, so let's remove that, and we actually need to go over here, and this is now inside of the range slider thumb shape, right? And besides having what's on top is on top of the other slider, thumb beacon, this thumb beacon. There's like only two and two other ones. So it's the thumb shape, and there is also the value indicator shape. So it's different shapes. But this shape was already deciding stuff based on the theme, right? So it kind of is the same. I mean, I think we're changing the logic just by adding it. So we're adding the oopsie. Yeah, sure. I'll make it required. Like this. Come on. Okay, so now the show value indicator has to be overridden. Yeah, I get it. And is it even used? Yeah, that's where we change show value indicator. Right, that's good. And the same goes to the other place. Which, I mean, over here it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't use that value, but it still has to be, because it doesn't even use that value from the theme, because it only uses colors over here. I mean, is what it is. I don't think there's a better option. It's not the cleanest way I would think about. Yeah, I guess let's do that. Show value. Show value indicator. This extra space, and well, it's not used, but there are other properties over here, so I won't be the first one that is not used. I think it's fine. What happened to my music? Let's go. Oh yeah. Right. Sure. Sorry. Yep. Okay. Oh, there's so many things that needs to be changed. Show value indicator. is here it's always, always? It's so weird. Sometimes it's always, sometimes it's something else. Oh yeah. Copy with. Right. So what was show over here? Right. So we don't need to copy anymore. Just that. Yeah, they also do the copy and copy like I did. They don't have to. I mean, this is the only reason they do that over here, I think. Just to override the theme. Where is it even? Like, why are we doing it? What? What is the test? So weird. What's slider respects text scale factor? I'm not sure why they want to. Why it matters over here. I'm just gonna do like the easiest fix because I don't want to think about all the repercussions. So I'm just going to remove the copy with. I mean, everything else is still the same. I actually don't want to get involved with tests right now. I'll skip those. Not as important. I mean, important, and we'll do it as well, but it's not as important. So remove that, and that as well. Thank you. Goodbye. And this one. I think it's so weird. It's sometimes it's never, sometimes it's always, sometimes it's, you know, it's so. Yeah, I'm in the test again. Damn it. Stop doing test. Demo. Oh, we had the demo. Interesting. There's never. Yeah. Oh, nice of you. If you don't want to see the value indicator, then you just won't set up the range labels. That's weird. Why would that be a thing? I mean, if you're setting range labels, then don't set them. I'm probably missing stuff about the range labels. I'm just gonna comment it out as opposed to just deleting it because I have a bad feeling about range labels. Maybe this affects something besides the value indicator, in which case there would be, I mean, no, that would be weird because then you would say you would use one property to define the value indicator for ranged and non-ranged, because there's always, and there's like discrete and there's continuous, but it doesn't say. Yeah, that's weird. No, I think that should be fine. So, right? And I think it compiles because it doesn't compile the tests. Yeah, that's a weird fix. I mean, I don't even know what's gonna happen. Let's try and run our code again. As you can see, this doesn't even work anymore. Yeah. Did it? Huh. Looks like it works. usually a bad sign when something works just out of the box. Sure, let's say that we don't set a label, right? So, right, no label. And let's just rerun it, just to be completely sure. And look at this. Not setting a label doesn't show a label. Setting a label shows a label. Kind of what I was expecting. Yeah, so I'm gonna finish off right here. I think I'll do another session making sure that we didn't ruin anything for the range slider and just seeing how it works. And then we'll do the test, so we'll fix the test that we broke and we'll add our own test that will fail with the previous configuration. How would it fail with the previous configuration? Yeah, we'll think if we can add a test of our own to check this. I mean, I guess we can just see if label is set. Yeah, we can. Previously, we just set label, nothing shows. Now we set label, it shows. I think that's what we'll look for. So, yeah, so I'll be signing off for now. Thank you. And see you again.